Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this is the Woodridge Parents Podcast. My name is Daniel Staley. This is my beautiful and lovely wife, Kelly.
Hi.
Hi, Kelly. How are
Hello.
you?
I'm good.
We had a bit of an exciting week, but not too much. Kelly was on spring break, and then Daniel had spring break prior, so we'll do a little spring break recap. We have some information on the previous council meeting, which had a lot actually happened this time.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to touch on some high school softball, baseball, and Little League updates. If we have time, we're going to do a little touch on current nutritional stack that Kelly and I are partaking in.
Mm-hmm.
And we have Kelly's information of the week as well. So there you go. Hi, Kelly.
Hi, Danny.
How are you?
Oh, Danny, I called you.
Yeah? Why don't you pull that mic a little closer there, lover?
How's this?
Much, much better. It's going to be like a running joke that we do every day because
I know.
it's 20 episodes in and Kelly's just figuring out how to use the mic. I'll raise it up a little bit for you. Here you go. Hi. What's going on, Kelly?
Nothing.
How was your spring break?
It was all right. I mean, since Danny since Danny had school and then John didn't, so we couldn't really do anything too much as a family. But I was able to drop him off and pick him up, no problem. And I didn't even have to really too much yell in the drop off lane because I didn't have to book it to John's school and then my school. So it was a little bit easier this time.
Did you get any good parking spots for the pickup?
I always park in the same spot. I mean, since we're literally 30 seconds away from the school, I used to go whenever I head off or early, I got home early, I would go at 2:15 and then there would still be no spots there. But I've worked my way through that, obviously. And I just leave here around 2:35ish.
See, that's the trick that I had.
Yeah.
I don't know I don't know what word I was looking for, but the trick I had given to you is that I've learned if you come too early, you're not going to get a good spot.
No.
And I've learned if you come a little after 2:30, if not even closer to the 2:48 or whatever, some people, I guess maybe the pre-K gets out earlier.
Yes, I think so. Yes. Yeah, I think they got at 2:30ish, 2:40.
Which would make sense because spots actually start to clear up on 12th at around that time.
Yeah.
And you think that they're going to all be full by then. But I think a lot of people don't really turn up 12.
No,
I think
never
they just
really
park
did.
and then that's it.
Walk.
I will circle the block 4 times because almost inevitably someone leaves. Mm-hmm. So I think that's my trick. Hopefully people won't steal it from me too much, but actually getting there closer to the time that they're getting out really does actually get you a better spot.
Yeah, but
12th.
Then what happens if there's no spots at all? Are you being late to pick Danny up?
No.
That's what I'm saying. I always get nervous.
There's always spots down the block.
No, I know.
And it takes 2 minutes to walk up the hill. So.
I know. I like to, again, it's probably a teacher thing. I like to be there. I'd rather get there early and sit and just kind of go on my phone and wait for him to come out and then No,
but I'm talking about going up to the school. Mm-hmm. What time do you get out of the car?
Oh, I get out of the car probably around 2:35.
Yeah. Insanity.
I'm not the only one, so I don't really care.
You can hang out with the other crazy people.
Yeah.
There's no reason to just stand there for 15 minutes.
Yeah. Well.
Just if I don't get a good spot, I get out at 2:43, 2:45. Mm-hmm. Takes 2 minutes to walk up. You get the kid and you get out of there. Mm-hmm. Dilly down. I know. A shout out to the 12th Street first grade parents crew. But,
they missed you this week.
Apparently.
They did. Yeah.
Apparently.
Sorry, I'm here.
Mm-hmm. But we do have that nice crew. So
yes.
I don't necessarily remember all the kids' names, so I don't want to shout people out and then miss people.
I don't really know them all.
But shout out to Mr. Barksdale, Presley's daddy, grandpa, Presley's grandpa, and grandma. So we did do a couple things for spring break. We did go to Great Adventure.
We did. It was fun.
It was nice. The boys are getting bigger and they're actually, they're tall enough. Even Johnny in pre-K, who's 5, He's 48 inches, almost exact now. So that's like the threshold to get on a lot more big boy rides.
Yeah. Not like the big ones. Yeah. But
the big ones are 54.
That's up probably next year.
Right. I know.
Well, he grew 3.5 inches in 1 year again. So we'll say.
So 48 plus 3.5 would be 51 and a half. Sorry,
I know.
Sorry, Kelly. You didn't go to the illustrious Woodridge High School. So, at least our high school is still here.
Listen, my Queen of Pete's was a blue ribbon school. So
is that like is that sponsored by like the ice cream? Isn't that blue ribbon?
Wow, you see what I got put up with this this guy always
blues?
sarcastic.
We don't really eat ice cream anymore. We'll touch on our new
talk about that.
nutritional things later. But spring break was fun.
It was fun.
Spring break and Great Adventure was fun. We got our season passes again this year. Mm-hmm. They did change the passes from last year, and it's not that it's more expensive, but there's less offerings. But honestly, like a lot of the offerings we didn't really use.
Yeah.
So we have the silver pass this year. Last year we had gold. That's why we didn't get the VIP entrance. But the VIP entrance actually had more people in line than the regular entrance.
Yeah, I saw that.
So that worked out fine. It was $65 a person.
That's not bad.
For the whole season.
I feel like it was a lot more last year. Was it like $100 last year per person?
Well, I mean, we had the gold.
I know, but
I think it was probably like 75, 80. Something like
but we still get free parking, right?
We get free general parking.
That's
we don't
fine.
get the free like premier parking.
It's the same thing.
We literally just parked at the edge of the premier parking.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
So $65 a ticket. You get free entry. You get discounts on food and clothes.
Oh, you still get discounts on food and clothes?
Yeah.
Okay.
You get
that's how much I know. He takes care of it.
Yeah, you don't get any skip the line passes, which we didn't even use last year.
Well, when we go, we don't really need them.
Yeah, we go like Mondays or Wednesdays during the day, and we're
like rope droppers.
Right, we get there as soon as it opens. Now, again, I'm assuming on Friday or Saturday there's going to be lines.
Yeah, it's going to be.
Although, to be fair, we could have used that darn skip the line pass on that train.
Runaway Train?
No, the Joker's girlfriend.
Oh, Harley Quinn.
The Harley Quinn ride. We were on that line for like a half hour. And just got off.
Honestly, I think that's why that line's always so busy. Because even last time we were there, it was always so long. We're like, oh, that ride must be really good. But they load everyone literally like every 10 minutes.
Yeah, it was
horrendous.
Crazy.
I was ready to lose it.
But we actually got to go on a couple of big boy rides ourselves this time. And it's funny because the boys they were like, oh, I'm going to go on big boy rides because I'm big enough. And we walked up to the Jersey Devil ride because I had never been on that one. It's a fairly new one.
Yeah.
And almost immediately the boys chickened out.
And do you want to know what? Thank God for that.
Yeah, I don't think I would have let them go on anyway because it was a little too much.
Well, we were going to, and then we're like,
Yeah, I hear you. It was kind of cool, to be honest, Jersey Devil.
Yeah.
It had, it was single cart, like so only one person.
And that's what John didn't like.
Yeah, Johnny would have freaked out. But it had like the initial drop, like you crank up and the initial drop is like almost 90 degrees.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Like you go up and then
down,
straight down. Like you're basically falling out of the seat.
Yeah, literally.
It's like holding you in, but like you're looking straight down at the ground.
Yeah.
And then it went up and looped. It was
the boys.
Fantastic.
We probably would have had to go home after that ride.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
They would have been really, really afraid.
Or they would have went,
like John just made the height. I was not really.
Right. So we usually go on Skull Mountain.
Yes.
We go on the Dark Knight, the inside roller coaster.
Yeah.
Now, both of those we're supposed to have all types of lights and flashing things on the inside. Both of them were pitch black.
Yeah.
So I don't really understand what that is.
It was like Space Mountain in Florida.
It was basically just pitch black.
Yeah.
But they were fine. And we went on the Runaway Mine Train.
Yes. They like that one.
Yeah. We were going to go on the bumper cars and
oh my God.
We were in line for literally the next people for the bumper cars. And apparently it was one person or multiple people drove in the wrong direction. And they got into
literally like a pile up.
A pile up and it broke the ride.
Yeah.
They couldn't get out. They jammed themselves in
so much.
And then they couldn't they literally, I almost went on the thing to help them out too. Cause the kid that was working there
he could
and then one of the dads, they were literally had to pull the things out.
Yep.
It was crazy.
Yeah, it was a little bit too much.
Yeah, I feel we went this early last year, and I feel this time was actually better than last year.
I feel like it was more put together.
Yeah,
and there are more characters out too.
Yeah, and I don't know. I think like they did it's a different company acquired Six Flags.
Oh, really?
Six Flags. So I don't know if maybe they're actually putting better work into it. We do got to go back for the safari. We do. I never went to the safari. The new Flash ride.
John was obsessed, but I'm like, John, no.
Yeah, he kept going, we're going to go on Flash. We're going to Flash. No. And then he looked at it and he was like,
maybe not.
Oh, my God. I do want to go on that one. We haven't done that one. We were going to go on Batman again, which is my favorite roller coaster of all time.
I know.
And it wasn't open.
I know.
So that was lame. But it was good.
Yeah, it was good. We went, the water rides weren't open, obviously. So hopefully
it was a little chilly, to be honest.
Yeah, it was nice though.
Yeah.
I was hot. Cold. No, but then the rapids weren't on, obviously, because it was too cold. Yeah, and then the log flume isn't open yet for the season.
The log flume, they were working on it last year and it was still empty.
Well, I mean, I don't think that would be open anyway yet.
Probably not.
Yeah. We're going to go in El Toro also, but that was also closed.
Was it closed? Or
it
did
was
we
closed.
Just not? We went on Runaway Mine Train and then I think we bounced. We didn't see people on it.
We didn't see people going on it, but I didn't hear anyone on it. Might not have been
people on the ride.
Yeah.
Because it was, you have the app and it shows you the wait times for rides and it said 5 minutes or whatever.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
It seemed like it was open.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we did our Wawa on the way out.
Yes, we did.
Wawa is honestly so great.
It really is. I know.
Especially now.
I did miss the churro, but that's okay.
Well, you get out of the churro. But I go to Wawa a lot now, especially with work. 6 a.m. at Wawa is like a blue collar paradise. Yeah. But they honestly have really, really good food at Wawa.
I love the sandwiches.
Yeah, we got the sandwiches obviously were great, but we had a
wrap,
barbecue chicken wrap.
It was good too, though. Yeah,
I think it was $8.50, a decent sized wrap. Yeah, with roasted chicken, so it had 50 grams of protein in it.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
And the boys had their little, it was so funny because we have a little wraps and then the boys had these boxes, grilled
cheese with applesauce
or apples. Yeah.
And whatever.
Yeah. They liked it. They felt John fell asleep on the way home. He was out.
Yeah.
Danny was up.
He always does.
You can see though how now Danny's he's awake longer now and he's able to kind of hang and not fall asleep. John, as soon as he had food in his belly, because I also brought food too. I mean, I brought the little goldfish and the little mini cheese cracker just to have just to have. But yeah, as soon as John fills his belly, he goes to sleep. He just turned 5, so he's still a baby.
He's adorable.
Oh, my baby. And Danny just kind of he can hang now. He can kind of hang.
Absolutely.
So
yeah, so that was good. So we'll go back probably monthly, I guess, maybe.
I mean, I have a very long Memorial Day break, but I know it'll be crazy going then. If we go in the morning, I think Danny has a half a day on that Friday, but I don't know. I have to say, I have that Thursday, Friday, and then Tuesday off because we use no snow days. So I have a long break. So we have to see when we want to go back. Yeah. I don't want to go back on a crazy packed day either, really,
Again, it's been so dead. I kind of do. Just it's got a little energy.
Energy,
going on,
I know, yeah.
But we'll definitely do that. We'll go to the safari.
Yeah. I don't want to do the water park. I'm still kind of. I'm not about the whole water thing. I mean,
I'm not a good swimmer, so.
I know. I'll have to rescue the 3 of you. So no.
Your brother let Danny almost drown in Disney.
He had a life jacket on, and Danny was over dramatic.
Did the lifeguard have to jump in?
Yes, because he was over dramatic.
Right next to him?
Dramatic.
Mm-hmm.
I know
Muscles McGee.
Because I know, I know, being dramatic doesn't run in the family or anything.
From you.
No, what are you talking about?
Gosh. Oh my gosh.
But anyway, yeah.
So what else did you do with the kids over spring break? Anything?
Yeah, actually, so that was Monday we went, right? On Tuesday, my mom, Joy, and Johnny, we went to American Dream. We got some clothes, went out to lunch afterwards.
Nice.
And, just kind of hung out, just went there, came back. And then by the time that we were done with lunch, I was time to go pick up Danny. On Wednesday, I kind of tried to bang out some doctor's appointments, with that. And on Monday and Tuesday I did jujitsu in the morning, and then Tuesday I did a double session. So I didn't go jujitsu on Wednesday morning because I could barely feel my legs from the past like 2 days. So I did not go the jujitsu on Wednesday morning. So I know that was bad of me, but I didn't go.
They're missing you.
I know. Well, I'll see them tomorrow morning, bright and early. Back to reg schedule tomorrow. Yeah. Thursday, I tried to get some of the house like clean and stuff like that, kind of get a little head on for laundry and stuff like that. And again, like, I still had to bring Danny to school, still had to pick him up. So we couldn't do anything like too long throughout the day. Right. Then Friday, what did we do on Friday? Oh, what did we do on Friday? I don't even remember.
Baseball game
and practice, actually.
Perfect transition. Right
practice and then baseball game.
So baseball updates, Little League and T-ball. So we are officially in the season now. So we did have our 3:45 practice on Friday, which I cannot really go to.
We're going to try to make it.
We had our first instructional game. No, second, third?
No, I think that was second. Second.
Yeah, it's been going pretty good. I pitched the past 2 games. Shout out Gus Lopez. Shout out the coaching staff on Realty 3 Instructional, Gus Lopez, Chris Valenti, and James Pryor, and myself. And we did pretty good.
You guys did good.
Yeah, I only beamed 1 kid. Sorry,
I know.
I went over and gave him a hug afterwards,
I know,
but I didn't throw it too hard, so everything was okay. But there's even in that, like, and the coach from yesterday and the coach from the other team, they're pretty close, like to the batter.
They're really close.
And the one guy yesterday got beamed, like hit him right in the tummy. Like,
and he was on his knee.
Right. Now the knee thing, it might be better because trust me, I'm not great at pitching. There's a lot of kids.
Kind of high, you get them a little bit, but it's okay.
So then I guess maybe I should be on my knee. But
yeah, but then you're gonna get beamed right in the head.
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't want that.
But that's also a thing. Like I was talking to Phil Romero, like some of them, and they were just throwing a little bit, but some of them are really kind of just lobbing it in.
Lobbing it. You're like throwing it.
Yeah, but you kind of have. I'm not.
You should be because that's how they. That's how they learn.
But like, it's almost harder to hit like a slower ball.
It is
because it's almost like
you're reaching for it.
I know you played like when you played adult Cool League softball.
Yeah.
Was that like soft toss or were they kind of?
Oh no, well it was underarm, but it was the whip.
Right.
It wasn't like we didn't do windmill because again like we were older back then. Right. But we did like the whip, like where we didn't lob it. It wasn't like arc.
But that's the thing. I know like a lot of like the men's league softballs they do arc, and that stuff's really hard to hit.
Oh, I know.
Like the slower it is. I just used to Coach Valenzola in gym softball. He used to do that, and he had now that I think about it, what he used to call it, I think, is a Italian slur for LGBTQ people. So I'm probably not gonna.
I wouldn't say anything.
Yeah, probably not gonna say it, but that's what he used to call the pitch. So now thinking about that, that's kind of strange. But I also heard a lot of strange things about that previous coach who I actually love to death, so I don't even really want to kind of
like even back then, like when I used to play, like they would like do like different pitches. I mean, like they would do change ups, they would do curves, like they would do all that stuff. So I mean, like it was, yeah.
But in this, like you kind of because if you really just lob it to them, even if they hit it, it's not really going to go anywhere.
I know.
So if you give a little bit of, I'm not blasting it in there.
No,
but you have to give a little bit of momentum. So when they hit it, it goes.
It's not going to help them for next year.
Yeah. And the team yesterday, they had a couple of kids that cranked the ball a little bit.
Okay.
But, maybe I should be down there because they had some good hits. We had some good hits too. I think we won technically.
I think you guys did good. I mean, everyone was hitting really good.
Yeah.
Even when Danny was like, he
got better.
In the cages with you, like he couldn't do anything. Like he's hit multiple balls at every single game so far.
Yeah.
Like that, that's good.
Well, that's even the thing. So there's an instructional, there's a little bit of
controversy.
No, and it's not controversy, but a little bit of differing opinions.
Yeah.
Whether on two things really, whether we should bat around and whether we should really strike kids out in that.
But isn't there like a rule list for instructional?
Like the rules are
for
you get 3 outs and you strike out after 5 pitches.
Okay, so then that should be what everyone should be doing, right?
Nah.
I mean, if that's what the rule is, they have to abide by the rules, and it goes for everyone, and that's how they learn to.
Right, Kelly. I know that's your general take on rules, just in general.
Yeah.
I tend to not follow rules if I don't think.
So what would be
So the two things, what we had done the previous 2 games,
yes,
which everyone else in the league agreed to except the one team.
Okay.
If you get 5 strikes, you walk.
You see, I think they should be out.
Sure, it's instructional still. We don't really get practice time.
Okay.
And some of the kids are significantly better than others. We're not even keeping score.
But here's my question too. So does that also apply that if someone throws the ball to like first or second base or third base, are they out or are they just staying there?
They're out.
You know what I mean? Like
if you're out,
there has
you're
to
out
be
and you get off.
Okay.
And I'm not saying like after 5 strikes, we'll just put them on base. We're not just barely running around.
Yeah,
anyway.
no, I understand.
I'm not saying give them 19 strikes. That's obviously not.
Yeah.
But so I was kind of in for just putting them on base, whatever.
Whatever the rules are, I think that should be it, and everyone should abide by it. There should be no like.
Well.
No, but I mean, like you said, after 5 strikes, they would go the first. Is that in the rules or no?
No, they're supposed to sit down.
Oh, okay. Well,
right. And also, the previous first 2 games, we batted around.
Yeah.
Now, we got lucky because I put Danny at last. So
yeah, we did bat
We
around.
got lucky where we batted around each time.
Yeah.
But the other team had one where we got almost 3 in a row.
Yeah, you're right.
So, and then the guy says to me after the game, coach, respectfully, he's like, "Oh, do you want to run another inning?" I'm like, first of all, we were getting poured on. Like,
I know, it was
soaking
raining.
wet. And I'm like, well,
how many innings are there supposed to be? 3? Okay, so it was 3 in T-ball, 3 in instructional, correct?
But like, if we're going to change the rules and play extra innings, just let the kids bat in the inning.
That's true.
And again, I put Danny last, but like, and he's one of the younger kids on the team. So
I know, yeah, it's fine.
Necessarily picking on Daniel, but a little bit.
Oh my God, my dad did the same thing to us.
No, but
that's okay. It's good.
Well, I don't want to like be like I'm favoring him. If he was,
I know,
like the second graders, a couple of them, they hit the ball well.
Yeah.
Carter, Luke, Joey, James, they hit the ball very well.
They all did really good, honestly. They all did
great.
really good. They did.
Actually, everybody got hits.
They did. It was good.
But like, there were times where it was 2 outs with just the kid Brady up and Danny was next. And I'm like, and it was like the last inning. I'm like, listen, I don't care what happens. He's going to get up. Like, because now because it's involving other kids. I understand like, oh, I strike out, I should go out. But like, the 3 kids before me struck out. Now I lose it at bat.
Yeah, no, I understand. I get it. I really do.
So I don't know. And listen, his argument was understandable. It's they have to get ready for next year and they have to this and that. But I don't know.
Are they the kids on his team? Were they first and second graders? Was it K1-2? Like what was the
eligible to be
makeup
K1-2? But I think they were mostly first and second graders.
Okay,
and a couple of them played travel.
Oh, well,
the coach said, was like, oh, the travel kids at this age, they hit the ball. And I'm like,
well then the travel can do one thing, and then
right. That's kind of more what I was thinking, because we have some kids who are very good.
Yeah, we
do.
James
plays travel. Joey, I don't know if he plays travel, but he's certainly good enough. Carter's really good. Luke's good enough. Like some of the kids aren't.
No,
Danny included.
Yeah.
We're not going to the batting cages.
No, it's not his sport. If some kids are like baseball's their sport, of course they're going to put the time in and stuff like that. But for rec, I mean, like,
right. And I mean, they do a similar thing in basketball. Listen, you can't have a third grader just pick the ball up and start running with it.
Yeah.
But they're pretty lenient in rec as opposed to travel.
Well, yeah. I mean, I always thought that like if you're like a travel kid, rec was basically just another practice for you anyway.
Yeah, basically.
You know what I mean?
And then T-ball with little Johnny.
Oh, John. He's been hitting pretty good, too.
Yeah,
He really has been.
I mean, he should. He's, 8 inches taller than the kids that are a year older than him.
I know.
It's crazy. Him and Trevor are like...
They're the biggest
ones. If I was on the other team, I'd be like, those kids are not. Get them up to
no, I mean, even when like John was walking around in the dugout for when Danny was playing, he did not look out of place. No. I mean, like once he starts talking, you can see the little babiness of him. But like, and then like when you see his face, you can see that he's still like still like a little bit of a little baby. But I mean, if he was like just like looking at you from like the back, or if you're looking at the back of his head, he is just as big as some of those second graders. And even like when I brought him to my class that one day, he was bigger or as big as most of the kids in my class. Yeah. And that's crazy. Yeah.
But they did pretty good.
Yeah, they did.
Shout out to Coach Gino.
Yes, we did. And you were, wait, how did I get roped into being a coach on your team now, too?
That was always part of the plan.
How did that happen?
How did that happen? Everything we got mixed, some people got mixed into T-ball, some people didn't, but that was always part of the plan.
So funny, because I was like, oh, yeah, I'm going to be able to watch from the stands this year. Me and Christine watch from the stands, kind of like whatever. No.
Watch from the stands. To be fair.
Well, she was right there, too.
I love you.
So I'm going to.
And I love you, Christine. All you guys did was chit-chat about school the entire game. You sat in the dugout talking about this school and that school in Belleville.
We know our own.
Yeah, I get it.
We know our own. Okay.
I get it. So that was good.
And now apparently Danny and Brady are best friends now.
Yeah. Well, Brady bought like a Minecraft sword. And
I know that. Daniel that was it.
Blew his mind.
And also because it was his cousin's name too. Brady. Oh my God. So yeah. And then Trevor and John. Yeah. I'm like, okay, that's about right.
Well, they're in the
same grade.
Trevor and Johnny.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. Brady's a year older than Danny.
Yeah. So that's good. We can transition into the high school sports.
That's all you.
Well, let's shout out to Tap Into Woodridge. But it looks like Brooke Stellato got her 100th hit in softball. We had a game. They lost to Leonia the other day. Woodridge is 5-7. Brooke Stellato picked up her 100th hit during the game, one day after Brielle Rivera picked up her 100th hit. So shout out to them and shout out to the ladies. They seem to have a nice little team going. So that's good. Also, the boys, we had some information here. Woodridge Baseball shuts out Dumont. I don't know how long ago this was. This was April 25th, 2 days ago.
Oh, yeah.
3-run, 6th inning, broke out a scoreless tie and gave Woodridge a 3-0 victory over Dumont in an independent high school baseball game on Thursday in Dumont. Woodridge improves to 7-6. That's good. Jake Wall started the rally in the top of the 6th with a single. Sacrificed to second by Jack Caprio. Jared Montoya came through with a 2-out single that scored Wall. Dom Buonamo. That's one of you Italian things, right? Mm-hmm. Single to both came in an error by the Dumont third baseman on a grounder by Chase Icovino. Lucas Mendoza picked up the win, pitching 6 innings, allowing 1 hit, walking 3, and striking out 3 while keeping the Huskies off the board. Michael Prado pitched up the save. Michale. That better not be Michael.
I think it's Michael.
Unless maybe it's a typo, which I'll deal with that. Yeah. But like, people spelling regular names in all different weird ways.
Yeah.
I think is a little sus, but as the kids would say, sussy.
Sussy.
And I guess we can then transition into a seemingly new situation with the recreation department, of which I'm not necessarily fully understanding what this means. I think it just kind of codified it. So at the board meeting on the 16th, they passed some resolutions. One, which I didn't even write down here, is they're buying the property on the boulevard with the old convenience store and the open field next to the church.
Okay. I know. I can see it. Go ahead.
Now, years and years ago, that was like a bar. When we were younger, used to go hang out there with my dad sometimes. Cool.
That's nice.
And next to it is, I guess for as long as I know, I don't really remember anything ever being there. Might have been a house, actually, now that I remember, but I don't remember. But it's been empty and the store has been vacant for years. Some people had bought and made it into like a convenience store, the bar, which I mean kind of made sense because there's 2 bus stops right there going to the city. So like you thought people would go get coffee and stuff like that. But I don't know. The rent's probably, or not the rent, but the price is probably exorbitant. Yeah. It's hard to, there's so many other.
Should put a Wawa there.
Oh God. Yeah, but that's too like center of town. There's not really Wawas in center of towns like that.
Maybe there should be.
Well, no, it would be because there would be tons of traffic right there.
Oh, that's true.
Wawas are usually on like a, you know, like in Garfield, it's on River Road, so it's a main kind of freeway.
Yeah, just a thought.
I mean, they could build like there's still like the little Wawas with no gas and stuff like that, but almost all the new Wawas have like a full gas station.
Oh, they do, right? Okay,
yeah, so it couldn't just be like.
All right, that makes sense. Then okay.
The Wawa mega store, I guess, but they don't really make the other ones anymore. So they bought that property. I've heard that it's going to just be a parking lot. It's for the church and for other people in town because realistically, we don't have like longish term parking for people who want to take the bus.
Of course, yeah.
Because everywhere around that area is 1 hour parking.
Yes,
specifically so people don't take up all the spots and go to New York. Which is crazy because when I used to work in New York in college, I used to just park right in the boulevard and just.
No one didn't really say anything, right? Yeah.
They might have. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
But so they're going to take that and make it to a parking lot. I don't know if it's going to be metered parking. I don't know if it's going to be because the town bought it.
Okay.
So it can't be a parking lot just for the church. That wouldn't really make sense.
I don't know.
I mean, obviously, if the church can use it, but
like,
I don't think that would work out really. The church has that like plot of grass right on the side anyway, which is nice. And they do festivals.
Yeah,
they
do.
But
yeah.
If they needed a parking lot, they could make a parking lot.
Oh, yeah, they could. Yeah.
And they have like daycare there too. So,
yeah.
But the thing that's kind of most interesting is an ordinance was passed 2025-9. It's kind of in depth a little bit, but it refers to the recreation department. And I had ChatGPT kind of summarize it a little bit. So summary of ordinance 2025-9 Woodridge Recreation Board. Creates a recreation board to manage and run all recreation activities in Woodridge. Now, we've had like the rec department. So I guess this is supposedly just like codifying it directly into the law. I guess it wasn't directly in the law prior. The old recreation committee members served indefinitely. There was no clearly stated limits and stuff like that. So creates a recreation board to manage and run all recreation activities in Woodridge. Board members are chosen by the mayor and approved by the council with defined term limits. They serve for a set number of years, not indefinitely. And I believe it's a 4-year term limit.
Okay.
Board's job is to plan events, run programs, manage parks, and work with other town departments. Meetings must happen regularly. The board gets an official budget and must follow strict rules for spending. Big changes from old rec department. The new board is created by formal law, Ordinance 2025-9, where the old commission was less formal. Interesting. Members now have term limits, and there are clearer powers, financial responsibilities, and transparency rules. So it seems like they're kind of cleaning up that a little bit.
So, are these elected positions or are they?
No.
Volunteer.
Board members are chosen by the mayor and approved by the council.
Okay.
Now, again, I don't know the specifics of why this was done, but if they're adding term limits in that, I mean, you could see that as being a big part of the issue because some of the people on that rec board have grandchildren that are like in their 20s.
Yeah.
So they've been on that board for 20 years plus. Now, those people are pretty well involved in rec. They go to the games, they go to sports and stuff like that. So I do understand them kind of not wanting to leave the position. But like, what kind of connection do you still have to the town if your children don't live in town because they're like older
40,
than
50,
us?
Yeah.
And their grandchildren don't live in town who are all like in their 20s. So like, why? just out of the goodness of your heart, which is probably the reason why they're doing it, because
they like doing
they tend
it,
to be involved in other things too and help out a lot. But there's a lot of things that a lot of these people don't even know about.
Yeah.
Like, I've been talking to Sarlo for years on this, to have like a little, like a gaming center, esports center, a place for, it was supposed to be, when we were supposed to have this new rec, center that was supposed to be down in Westmont, supposed to be wherever, they had said they were going to put an area in that to have some sort of like esports center. And so one of the senseis from judo, Sensei Matt, shout out Sensei Matt, he is the head of the rec department in Bloomingdale. It's off 23. And, we talk about it in general, but the one thing he said, and he's like a big buff, like he's a firefighter in Patterson and he's like a sports guy. But he said, he was like, the rec department is not just for sports. Like, you're supposed to have recreational activities for everybody.
Yeah.
Painting and, swimming. And I mean, the swimming's like an athletic thing, but
it's like the artsy stuff too. Yeah.
Correct. And even like this says for like events and stuff like that. So, it's not necessarily just about sports. It's about getting things for everyone in town to be able to
like
do.
social events too.
Yeah. So, I think it's probably good to have a shakeup. We'll see who the mayor and council choose to be in those positions. Hopefully maybe some people we know will be able to get onto that in that spot.
I heard something very interesting at the game yesterday too. I don't know if you heard about this.
Okay.
Now I heard that they're going to be putting pickleball in where that big green area was, like where they were supposed to build another school down in the rock. Like, I heard that they were going to be putting some pickleball. Because I had heard the pickleball
was going to Jocelyn.
Yeah, it's not. Nothing's happened then. Since then,
I wouldn't say nothing's happened
down there.
It's been a little while, but after they cleared the backboards, they did clear that side. They've done a little bit. Now, a big part of why Jocelyn, they took the basketball courts out, where it was a lot of kids there.
Yeah,
like, listen, we live around the block.
Yeah,
and I grew up playing at Jocelyn, and there was a good number of kids that lived on Jocelyn, plus other kids from around here.
Yeah,
and we used to play there a lot. And we were a bit of derelicts back then too, so I'm not like saying like we were great kids or whatever.
Yeah,
but. And maybe I'm just older, but like it seemed like there were significantly more kids down there a good number of years ago when Danny was young.
I remember.
Like, there would be 30 to 40 kids there.
I know, yeah.
Like, we never had 30 kids playing basketball there. That's like preposterous.
Yeah.
And they were getting into fights and walking on people's lawns and making loud,
Yeah, I understand why they took it away. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure people complained, and then they took the backboards down, and now it's just tennis.
Yeah.
But I had heard that they were going to do the pickleball courts there.
Yeah.
I mean, we take the kids bike riding down there.
I think it's perfect
nice.
Bike ride. Yeah.
But I think even if they would have left the basketball courts up, sealed the entrance on Jocelyn.
Yes.
And took the fence down that goes to the parking lot in Westmont. So then you don't really have to worry about the kids walking through Jocelyn and causing
or parking
havoc.
And stuff like that too.
You still would have to deal with, the people who live right there would still have to deal with the noise and stuff like that. But unfortunately, that's
where you live. Yeah.
So I think they should have maybe just done that. But no, I didn't hear.
I heard that yesterday.
They should maybe just put basketball courts there with lights. That'd
be something, Yeah.
That wouldn't be too bad. Not bad.
Or that would be a good place for that esports thing, like right in the center.
Well, that's what I think the rec. We were supposed to have like a rec center.
Yeah, I mean, like,
and I think that was supposed to go there.
Or have like different types of, different types of rooms and stuff like that.
Whatever. It's a gym and stuff like that. That'd be great.
Yeah.
I think there's still things like pending. Like they're trying to get that NJ Transit building, because there's supposed to be like a park, like a walking park with like vestibules and stuff like that.
Oh, really?
I think vestibule's not the right word. Like like the coverings where you can hang out and have like a picnic, stuff like that.
Yeah. Gazebos?
Yes. But like the large ones, kind of like
in Lyndhurst, like down there where it'd be like all covered over. We have like a lot of picnic tables underneath.
Correct.
Kind of like in Vansone Park, that type of area.
I think in Wallington at that park down there, they have them too.
Yeah.
But that's the changes from the meeting last week. That would
be nice.
Yeah.
Actually.
We'll see. I mean, it's good. Listen, Danny and Johnny are 5 and 7. So
no, I know. I'm telling you, it would be nice.
If it takes 10 years, they're going to be 17 and 15.
Well, I mean, going from like building and stuff like that, if you look at Doyle, and they're working this morning too. When I went to go get the kids bagels on a Sunday, they were like, and I was up there at like,
I'm sure they're cashing in that OT.
No, I know. And like, I was up there. Like, what time did they leave? 7:15. I went early today because we had a lot of stuff going on.
Literally was sitting at the kitchen table.
And I said, like, okay, I'll be right back.
But I mean, if you just said I'll be right back, I didn't think you were like leaving. I thought you were maybe going to take a poop.
No, but I mean, today we had a busy day though, so I wanted to make sure everyone. You were busy, so I wanted to make sure everything was like under control.
9 a.m. No-gi jiu-jitsu with Sensei Professor Ray. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Took a shower there so I could make it back on time.
Good for church.
Yeah. It was still pretty tight anyway.
Yeah, so I know. I was tracking you.
Yeah, for sure. So that was good. Yes. Let's see here. Baseball updates, high school softball updates, council meeting. Now, I know this is not the Lyndhurst Parents Podcast.
No.
And we maybe jumped the gun on last week's episode on some announcements that we had to pull the podcast down and make some edits. And apparently I have to read more closely the ChatGPT descriptions and titles that get made for us, because I just take the transcript of the podcast and put it in ChatGPT, and then it makes the titles and the description.
Oh, okay.
And it said the person who was running for a position in Wallington as opposed to another town. Huh. Which I guess if he wasn't really prepared for me to make that announcement, I should have just kept it as Wallington.
Oh my gosh.
But we did fix that. But Kelly is directly involved family-wise with the election in Lyndhurst.
Somewhat. Not so much anymore, honestly.
Kelly.
We're a couple removed.
Your wonderful and beloved sister-in-law is directly involved. Therefore, our family is directly involved. Your brother and beautiful sister-in-law, who we will be throwing our support behind their team.
Well, I don't know how to really throw our support behind them anymore. We can't really vote.
By saying this.
Oh, yes, by saying this. Okay, yes.
Silly.
Okay, sorry.
We
been a long day already.
Supporting Mayor Roberto Giangiaruso. I wonder if his name is really Roberto.
Robert.
Well, right, Kelly, but there's also how many Robert Giangiarusos are in Lyndhurst?
A lot.
How many? So there's Mayor Robert.
Maybe only 3 directly in Lyndhurst, living in Lyndhurst. Mayor Robert,
DJ Robert.
Well, no,
it's Principal Robert.
Yes, Principal Robert. Yes, and there's other ones, but they don't live in Lyndhurst anymore. I don't think.
Jeez, that's like, what was that in? Is that
Goodfellas?
Goodfellas? So it's like
Paulie, Peter, and Marie, whatever it was called. Wait, was it Paulie, Peter, and Marie?
It's definitely Paulie and Marie.
I think it was Peter too. Yeah.
So the what is it, Lyndhurst Strong or Lyndhurst?
I don't want to say it wrong.
Yeah. But shout out to Bobby Giangiaruso and
the team.
Young David Mateen.
Yes.
Running part of the Michael's Riverside Empire.
Yes.
So good luck to them.
Yes, good luck
to everyone. They have like a different way of governance in that town compared to this one. They have like the commissioners.
Yeah. So you don't actually run for mayor. You just run for a commissioner. And there are 5 commissioners that are elected. And then amongst the 5, they decide who's going to be the mayor, who's going to be in charge of public works, parks department, health, and police commissioner.
And golly gee, Bobby Giangiaruso seems to win every time.
He does. He's been doing it for a long time now.
So that's good. We are throwing our support behind them. Let's see here. Jeez, we've been going for a while already. So we'll hold off on our nutritional stack that we've been working on.
Yeah.
We are looking for sponsors. This is episode 20. I said I was going to say this after episode 10, but we are going to look for some sponsors, probably do at least 2 in the beginning. So any Woodridge businesses, preferably Woodridge businesses, Woodridge Moonachie, we will take money from anywhere, per se, but preferably Woodridge businesses who would like to sponsor and get a little commercial read on every podcast. We're not to kind of toot our own little horn here, but it's seeming to become more often where people are like, "Oh, hey, you got that podcast, right?"
Yeah, it's true.
And I'm like, "Geez, I don't even know who these people are."
I know,
Watch what I'm saying.
especially now in Woodridge. Because I mean, like I know everyone in Lyndhurst, but I don't really know too many in Woodridge. I'm like, oh yeah.
But yeah, we've
over there.
the podcast has been moving. Our numbers are actually doing pretty good. We could do a whole a packet for you if you'd like to see some numbers, but we will be looking for sponsors. And other than that, what do you got, Kel?
Okay. I get my little notebook here. You can tell I'm a teacher, but I have my Crayola markers.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so when it comes to Doyle this week, on Wednesday, April 30th, there's a first grade field trip that everyone, the first grades are going on.
Where are they going?
Honestly, it's somewhere in Lodi. I don't even remember. I actually asked Ms. Schwartz if I forgot anything, and I always make sure I'm like up to date with everything.
Empires on Lodi now.
Yeah, but I don't think it's that. I don't know. I think it's like an educational. I'm not really sure.
Girls Club?
Maybe. I don't know. But I'm going to find out. I know she's going to send home a reminder. So, but yeah, Danny whole stuff for that. I made sure. Marking period 3 ends on April 30th as well. So report cards will be made available. May 1st is Principal Appreciation Day. The rec camp for the summer. Did I say that correctly? Rec, like rec camp, or is it just like rec? Just rec?
Summer rec.
Okay, I'm sorry. Summer rec is going to be open for registration on, Monday, tomorrow, the 28th. If you go on to, like last year, I went onto the site and I clicked it and it didn't work. So hopefully this year will be a little bit better. So we'll see tomorrow. It runs from June 30th to August 1st. It's $150 per child. And you cannot register them if they're going to kindergarten this year. They have to be going into first grade through 8th grade. And the only other thing for today is that faith formation is officially over. The classes are officially over for the year. Keep going to church, but I know the classes are over for right now.
Nice.
And that's really it.
I think football and cheering signups are open. njwoodridge.org/department/football-and-cheering. That's not a great URL to send out, but
Yeah, so you have to make sure you sign both boys now this year. Oh my gosh, Johnny's going to
see stuff like that is why the town needs like a permanent,
like a job
digital
doing it.
liaison.
Yeah, I know.
Because they just mush it out to everybody else, and it never really looks right.
Anywho,
I wonder who would be able to do that.
I don't know.
I don't know. It could be a podcast.
Wasn't there something else we wanted to talk about too, like really fast? I don't remember.
I mean, we had the nutritional stack, but I don't think we really need to get into that.
Yeah, no.
Anything else, Cal?
I think that's really it. Yeah. I know next week is Teacher Appreciation Week. That's a big thing. But we'll say that for next week.
Yeah. I got to see if Mr. Caputo is going to get the that summer flag football thing going.
Are you probably going to do it this year, right? I mean, Danny's able to actually do it this year. But and I know Danny loves football, so like that's the thing, but it's going to take away from judo. You're right. And I know that when main football season rolls around. Yeah, I mean, main football season, that's different, but I was looking at the schedule for baseball. We have games on Tuesday the next 3 weeks. I know. So I know. Again, we have to just roll with it, as I guess you could say. That's right. Today is April 27th. There is a Naga. It's a jiu-jitsu tournament. I think a bunch of people from Kamala Cruz are going, so good luck to everybody there. That's good. And are you still competing next week? No, you're not doing it anymore. No. Okay. There wasn't that many people signed up, and okay, no, I was stuff going on. I knew we're going back and forth this way. Now I feel like I heard we're doing something else on May 4th, or there was something on May 4th now. I'm not sure.
Yeah. I guess we could also shout out Kamal Cruz Judo and Jiu-Jitsu is going to be doing a 2-week-long sessions for like a summer camp at the dojo. One in July, one in August. I don't think Daniel's going to be able to go to the one in July.
Probably August would be better.
Actually, theoretically, if he gets out, what time does he get out of rec?
He gets out of rec at 12.
Because they have 12 to 3.
I mean, but I wouldn't be able to get up there till like 1.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if we were like rushing, you know?
And then they're doing one in August, so it's going to have arts and crafts and self-defense and conditioning and judo basics and stuff like
That's
that.
cool.
So hopefully,
what are the times again? I forget. I knew you said it was like
it was like 9 to 3 is the full session, and then they had 9 to 12, and then 12 to 3.
For some reason, I thought you said 9 to 6, and I was like, oh my God. I was like, oh my gosh.
No.
Okay.
No. Do you have anything else?
No, that's really it.
Okay.
That's it for today.
Good. Well, thank you everybody for listening. We appreciate it. We'll get some clips up soon. And we love you. And I love you.
I love you.
See ya.
Have a good week.